Welcome everyone to today's webinar that's titled Automatically Convert Content to DITA XML and Deduplicate Exact Topics. My name is Brian Tipper. I'm the CEO here at Stilo, and I'm sitting alongside TJ Dhaliwal, our Technical Sales Product Specialist and your presenter for today. Also on our panel is Helen St. Denis, our Conversion Services Manager. Okay, this will be a very short and quick to the point webinar where we demonstrate a conversion to DITA using our Migrate software, and then the deduplication of that DITA using our new 4.0 feature. So before we begin, we'll go over some quick housekeeping rules. So first off, everyone will be muted throughout the duration of the webinar. If you have any technical questions, please submit them via the Q&A panel. And please note that we will answer all questions at the end of the webinar. And then next, Helen will be monitoring and handling all technical issues and general questions via the chat module. You can communicate with her directly by messaging the username Stilo International. And then finally, this webinar will be recorded. A link to the recording will be emailed to everyone that registered. This will happen approximately 1 hour after the webinar concludes. So without further ado, I'd like to hand the mic over to your presenter, TJ Dhaliwal.
Thanks, Brian, and thanks everyone for joining us. My name is TJ, and I'll be demonstrating Migrate 4.0 for you. So let's jump right into it. So when you first log into your Migrate portal, you'll be shown a screen as such. It's a Documents tab with a list of all the documents you've previously uploaded for conversion. Well, we have none here, so let's go ahead and do that. Click Upload on the left and select our files. So here I have 2 FrameMaker books that I've prepared for us, and I can select them both and hit open. So here we can select our importer from the drop-down. This would be tailored specific to your conversion needs, and you would only have what importer you need. So these are FrameMaker books, so I'll just specify that. I have multiple for demo purposes. So let's go ahead and hit upload and go back to our Documents tab. So while this is uploading, Migrate is analyzing the source format for properties, metadata, and other information we can use to guide our conversion to the target that we need. So now that our documents are successfully analyzed and uploaded in Migrate, we can go ahead at the top here and select our target. I have multiple targets here. You would have the one specific for your needs. Let's click DITA 1.3 map topic based. Oops, we'll just select the files first. And here we can accept the credits at a one-time charge and convert as many times as we need after. So now that we've assigned the target here in this column, we can see that the credits have also changed from red to black, and we're good to go. So to guide our conversion from our source to our target, we can apply a rule set. A rule set is a collection of annotations that are used using the metadata and properties we preserved uploading to guide us to our target. So rule sets are prepared beforehand for you by Stilo, and they're completely customizable, clonable, so you can fix your conversion and tailor it as many times as you want at no charge. So let's go ahead and assign a rule set that I've prepared for this. Using the rule set dropdown, we can see here that it's been applied. And so let's select one of the files and see how the rule set actually guides our conversion. Here we can see some more data about the file, including characters, words, etc. So let's go ahead and click Edit Rules to see the rules. So this will open up the rules editor in a new tab, and the rules editor provides us with an intermediary format of our document. It's not quite FrameMaker and it's not quite DITA, but it preserves all the visual qualities, properties that we need to, again, build rules and guide our conversion. So here in the first pane, we can see our intermediary visual format. On the right pane, we can see a list of tabs that give us more information on our content. So if we select the first element, we can see some more properties about this. So we see a style used in FrameMaker, and we see other things like font size, foreground, line height, etc. All these attributes we're able to manipulate them to get our conversion to where we need to go. So moving forward, such as this heading is formatted as H0, we've told Migrate to annotate it as a level 1 topic, nested in our previous heading. We're also able to target steps as such with their list markers. And again, this piece of content is styled as S1 step level 1 in FrameMaker, and we're really able to target that style. Styles are mostly used in these rules, but again, if it's an instance as you're converting a format such as Word, we know that certain headings, although they may look the same, are not styled the same, and this is where the properties really come in. We can use, again, margins or font name or even font size to differentiate between different authoring patterns. So let's see some more content that Migrate has annotated. So again, we have more headings that are at different nesting levels, and this is great because the styles are appropriately assigned. As this one's H2, so we made it a topic level 3. Let's move forward. Here we have an ordered list, and again, because it's styled correctly, we're able to target it and annotate it as an ordered list so it appears correct in our data. For example, here we also have a piece of code that we want to annotate. And we've done so using this rule. And if we click our rules tab at the top here, we can see a list of all the rules we've used, and we can further go into how they're made. And for example, here we can collect different styles that the code has been annotated as and turn them all into the same code, which is great for our output. So once you get your rules editor really targeting the content how you want, we can then apply it to all the documents that we need. So let's go back. And I didn't make any changes here, so we can just apply the same rule set to the other document. Let's hit convert and apply this rule set. So right now, Migrate is taking the rules that we annotated in the intermediary format, and it is converting it and applying it to DITA. And this process takes some time depending on the size of your files. When I previously ran it, it took about a couple minutes. I'll save us some time and skip to the download. So when you download your structured content, it'll be in a documents.zip folder. Once extracting, we're able to see what's inside. It will contain 2 folders for each of the files that we converted. So let's go ahead and open up the first one. And in here, we can see a file for each topic that we annotated. These were mostly headings. There's also a file for a DITA file, which is how Migrate handles conditional text by default in an other props element. And we have a map for our content. So something to note here, there's about 80 items in this folder. This is notable because when we deduplicate, we will drastically reduce this, which is great. Let's go ahead and open up our map of our structured content. Just let XML load here. Yep, so here on our map, we can see the hierarchical topics and their nesting levels. So let's click one of these topics and see what our content looks like. So this topic, Migrate was able to detect it's a concept and it has been outputted as so. And let's take note of this topic as well here because it is repeated multiple times throughout these files and we will be deduplicating this. So let's look at some more topics here. In this topic, for example, we had annotated certain items as steps, and Migrate was able to assign that topic as a task, which is exactly what we wanted, which is great. So here again, we see the same topic repeating, which we will deduplicate. Let's click the next one, see what we have here. Here we have a list, an ordered list, and it's appropriately marked in the rules editor and coming out. We also have some inline code, which is great. And again, we can see there's this topic, installing and configuring OmniMark on Windows, repeated for about the third or fourth time, and we will definitely reduce these redundancies. Okay, so we had a look at our first file. Let's go have a look at our other. Let's go back. And this one has about 54 items here that we can see at the bottom. And again, a topic, a file for each topic, a DITA file, and a map. Let's click the map, see what we have here. So here again, we can see our hierarchical map and the nested topics and some more of the same topic that we saw repeated. Okay, so we've successfully converted our unstructured content to structured data. So now let's see how we can reduce these redundancies of these topics that we see repeated. Okay, so in order to deduplicate your content, it has to be successfully converted in your Migrate portal, as it is here under our status column. The first step to deduplicate is go to the left to our Reuse Collections tab, and let's create a collection. A collection is where the group of files will be that we want to compare their unique topics to. So let's just go ahead and name this collection _0. Okay, so now we've created a collection. Now we can go back to our Documents tab on the left here, and from the Collections dropdown, with the files selected, add them to the collection that we just made. So now that we did that in our Collections column, we can see that they've been added. So let's head back to the Reuse Collections tab and click on our collection. So in our collection, we have a warehouse folder. A warehouse folder where is going to be where all the topics that are extracted, that are common amongst the files, it will be stored. So we can let's just rename that right here. Let's name it to Common Topics 0. By default, it's named common. You can leave it as such as well. So we can see here that the warehouse folder name has changed appropriately, and the documents that we want to compare their topics are in here. So because our documents are successfully successfully converted, we can go ahead and click compare. So while Migrate is comparing these two files, what it's doing is comparing each and every topic to each and every other topic. So this time will depend on the amount of topics and size of your files. Again, to save us some time, I've downloaded it ahead of time, which you can do from right here at the Downloads tab. So when you download it, it will be named as the collection name you assigned .zip, and we can extract it and see what's inside. Inside your collection, you'll have your warehouse folder where all the topics that were extracted, that were exact and common across the files are stored. You will have a folder for each of your files with updated maps and topics and references, and you will have a user report HTML file. Let's have a look at our user report. So in our user report, we're given a list of all the topics on our left column that are now stored in the warehouse folder. And on our right, we are given a list of all the locations where the new topic references are created. For instance, that first topic that we saw and talked about, installing and configuring OmniMark on Windows, is now referenced 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times instead of being duplicated. And so on. There's about 14 topics or so here, and we reduce a lot of redundancies. Let's see. So back to our folder, we looked at our user report. Let's have a look at our common topics. So yeah, exactly. At the bottom here, we can see there's 14 items here, so 14 topics extracted. And let's have a look at the unique files then. So now in our first file, we went from 80 items to 53. And we can open up our map and let's have a look at our references. So that one topic that we saw multiple times here, let's click it. We can see here is being referenced now from the common topics warehouse folder. And this is true for all the exact copies of this topic throughout the file. So, for example, here as well, again, it is being referenced from the warehouse common folder. And the same is true again here. So topics that are not unique are stored as root, but again, we can see these topics being referenced from the same warehouse folder. Let's have a look at our other file where we see the same topic. So in this case, it went from about 50 items to 36. Let's open the map. And again, here we can see Migrate preserved the hierarchical structure of all the topics and just replaced the exact matches with references from the warehouse folder. These are unique, so they wouldn't be. But this one, again, from the warehouse folder. So we have successfully converted our unstructured content to structured and further deduplicated exact topic matches. So I will hand it back to Brian to have a few words before we answer some questions.
Okay, thank you very much, TJ. So if you have any technical questions, please go ahead and submit them right now into the questions panel. Any type of commercial questions you can send to contact@stilo.com and I can get back to you with information about that. So while TJ is reading through the questions, I'd like to remind everyone of our upcoming trade show dates. And it should say Labicon 2021. I guess I'm just a year behind right now. Apologize for that. This year has been quite light due to COVID, so the only remaining conference is Labicon, which will be held October 24th to 27th. And of course, it's virtual, so let's just all cross our fingers that next year we can get back to live events again. Our next webinar is not yet scheduled, but it is planned for some time in September. This will be immediately after we launch a new product that we've been working on for over a year. So please stay tuned for that information. And yeah, so hopefully at this point, TJ's had enough time to read through the questions. So I'll go ahead and pass the mic back to him.
Thanks, Brian. Yeah, so for our first question here asks if we can upload our already structured content in DITA to migrate to deduplicate. So the answer is no. Your content must be converted from source to DITA in Migrate. But we do have a product called Optimizer where you can upload your data and compare at character per character level and see similarities in percentages instead of just exact topics. So if that's something of interest to you, I encourage you to go on our website and look at it, and please contact us if you're interested. Another question I see here is how does Migrate handle images? So Migrate by default extracts the images from the source format and puts them in a images folder on the root of your download. We also preserve links if your image is linked instead, and we just leave it as the link is. If you have callouts, for example, on FrameMaker drawings, we can convert those into SVGs for you, and again, keep them in your images folder when you download it. Okay, so yeah, another question, follow up from the first. Can Migrate handle near matches? So no, this process is resource intensive. And again, Stilo has built a solution for this with our Optimizer product. And I encourage you to check it out if deduplication is of particular interest to you. So we have another question here. It says, hi, reg content deduplication. You said that the topic in the warehouse folder was checked with every other topic. How do we find the root topic? Do we have a way? Yes, we do. So I can just show you here actually. So the root topic is actually in our warehouse folder. So when we download our collection, we will have a warehouse folder that we named here called common_topics_0, for example. And in here is the 14 items that are being referenced in the other files. This is how we find the root topic. I hope that answers your question. Our content. Another question, our content has many similar content. We don't know the root topic and other similar topics. Do we have a way to find, maybe using timestamp and find? So yeah, similar content, like I said, is handled by our product called Optimizer. Migrate specifically deals with exact topic matches, which is like I said, less resource intensive, and to find near matches, we built a specific tool for that, which is great. So here, our content, yes, I already answered that. Sorry about that. Yeah, so if you have any commercial questions, please shoot us an email. Brian will be happy to get back to you. If you have any other questions that did not get answered, again, please contact us at contact@stilo.com.
Okay, great. Well, that concludes our webinar. So we'd like to thank everyone for attending, and we hope to speak with you all soon. Goodbye for now.